Alright, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, Blessing Iwodabu officially announcing that he is out of the 2023 Arnold Classic. This is the second bodybuilder in just a matter of days to pull out of the show from Men's Open. You've now got Charles Griffin, who is out, and Blessing, who is out, leaving us with only 6 competitors confirmed right now for the Men's Open Arnold Classic this year. So Blessing posted a series of physique updates, and he said in the caption, "Huge thanks to Arnold Sports for the invite, one of my all-time favorite shows, but unfortunately I will not be doing the Arnold this year. Going off completely for almost 3 months, probably a very smart move for his health and longevity. After Indy and New York shows and traveling really affected my Olympia prep negatively. I definitely lost some muscle mass, and I didn't have enough time to fill out my physique before the Olympia. So right now I'm just giving my body the much needed time to bring my shape back before any prep. Expect a crazy comeback later this year from the boogeyman #underdog mentality." So while I do like Blessing's physique, I like his structure, I like the aesthetics he brings to Men's Open bodybuilding, I think he was way off at the Olympia. From a size standpoint, he got out-muscled. From a conditioning standpoint, he was very soft. I think he was totally off. He was tied for last at the Olympia, 16th place, which was like a 10-way tie for 16th. And let's be realistic. Out of the names that we had for the Arnold Classic, Blessing probably would have been in last place at the Arnold if he came in looking like he did at the Olympia, so he probably wouldn't have been a factor here anyway. So it's not a super big game changer that he's out of it. I think Charles would have been a game changer had he been in it. So these two leave 6 names left on that competitor list, which whittles it down to just these names here: William Bonac, Samson Dauda, Shaun, Clarida, Akeem Williams, Justin Rodriguez, and Kamal Gargni. So 2 of those guys are 212 guys, even though they're former 212 Olympia champions. Well, one of them is a current 212 Olympia champ. And then that leaves only 2 top 10 Open Olympians in this lineup. Then the other 2, Justin and Akeem, were outside of the top 10 at the Olympia. With only 6 guys now in this Arnold Classic lineup, I fully expect to see more guys jump in, more names added to this lineup. There's too much money on the line here for there not to be more guys jumping in. And keep in mind, the Arnold Classic is an invitational. So if they want you and you want to compete there, if you reach out to them and say, you're in shape, you're ready, you'll do it, all they have to do is say yes. And I think with 6 guys in the lineup, they would be pretty inclined to say yes to probably anybody that's a top Olympian that wants to compete seeing this lineup. The best guy in this lineup being Samson, who took 6th at the Olympia. There's a lot of guys that look like they're in shape right now. Nick Walker, Derek Lunsford, rumors of Big Ramy wanting to do it. I just have a feeling there's going to be some big changes to this list. Now, one of the guys that's a big favorite in this competition, even though he didn't compete in the Men's Open Olympia, is of course Shaun Clarida, your current most recent 212 Olympia champion, winning this past Olympia in 212, and he has won an Open show before, the Legion Sports Festival. In fact, he was qualified for both the Open and 212 Olympias. He was forced to choose one, and he chose 212. Obviously, that was a good choice for him because he won that title again. Now, this is the latest update posted by Shaun Clarida, where obviously he looks very impressive from a conditioning standpoint. And the question is, can Shaun beat Bonac? Can Shaun beat Samson Dauda? Because he did win that one Open show, that Legion Sports Festival, where he beat Sergio Oliva Jr., he beat Regan Grimes. But I think it's important to point out that neither of those guys were at the Open Olympia this year. And at Regan's last Olympia, he was like 15th. So while we have seen Clarida beat Open guys before, we haven't seen him beat current top Olympians. Bonac, even though he was 9th, is a current top Olympian from a crop of over 30 top bodybuilders. Samson Dauda is a first call-out top 6 Men's Open Olympian. Can Shaun Clarida beat these guys? And to be honest, I'm starting to see a lot of people making this argument. Why do we even have a 212 division? 212 really exists for short guys, guys that are limited by their height and the amount of weight that they can put on, the amount of size that they can put on, because their frame is just that limited. They're shorter. They can't be a 300-pound Big Ramy. But does that even matter? Is this height really a limitation? Because we just saw at the Olympia this year, the 3 shortest guys in the lineup completely dominate everybody else. Your top 3 was Hadi Chupin winning, who is a former 212 guy, Derek Lunsford in second, who is a former 212 Olympian, and in third place, Nick Walker, probably the shortest guy in Men's Open right now. So again, what role does the 212 division really serve? Are these guys really limited by their height? If they can come in shorter and smaller and pound for pound lighter than some of these open guys and still win on conditioning and balance and proportion and just overall just muscle for their frame, what does the 212 division even exist for? And keep in mind, you've also got William Bonac. He came from 212. He's been a top 3 Olympian and a top Olympian many times in open bodybuilding. He's won the Open Arnold Classic twice. So really, I don't see the argument for a 212 division if all the top guys just keep coming back to men's open bodybuilding because the prize money's better and they can do well. Now, Shaun Clarida, I would think if the 212 division existed for anybody, it would be for Shaun Clarida. He is probably the shortest guy in 212 by far. He is the most limited by his frame and by his height. I don't think he's ever competed over 200 pounds on stage. Probably never will. And I think he competed in the 180s at the Olympia. He is a guy that in terms of muscle mass is truly as limited as you can be. And this isn't a knock on him. I'm saying if that's what 212 exists for, Shaun Clarida is the guy that it exists for. So I would say that if Shaun Clarida can come in and if he were to win this Open Arnold Classic, then what is 212 here for? And keep in mind, there is no 212 division anymore at the Arnold, so Open would be their only option if they wanted to do the Arnold. But if he were to win and beat 2 top Open Olympians, then why is 212 even here? I personally think the crossover between 212 and men's open bodybuilding is entertaining. But again, who is the division for if the guy that I think best represents what it's all about, Shaun Clarida, wants to come over and do Open? Why do we even have it? And even when Flex was winning, I don't think Flex was super limited by his height. He was still a pretty big guy. I think he would have came over, had he competed in men's open bodybuilding, I think we would have seen a similar thing to what we saw with Derek Lunsford. I think Flex would have been a first call-out top guy had he done any of the Open Olympias that he said he was going to do. I don't think the 212 guys are as limited as people think they are, and I'm starting to see less and less the appeal of that division. $50,000 to win that Olympia class, and you could get more than that for just placing second at the Arnold Classic in Open. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the 212 Olympia, about Shaun Clarida doing the Arnold. Do you think he's actually a favorite in this lineup, being a 212 Olympia champ? And what names would you like to see added to the overall Arnold Classic lineup now that all these guys are dropping out? Now, next up in the news, the Liver King now claims to be 1 week into his natural journey. So a lot of people didn't believe this when he posted this story. They thought he was trolling or whatever, but he did actually say on the last podcast that I saw him appear on, and this was the first podcast that he appeared on after he was exposed and after it was revealed that he was taking steroids and PEDs. He was on the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz. And on that podcast, he said honestly and earnestly that he wants to go natural now. He wants to get off everything and see if he can actually live by the standards that he preaches and not take anything. I'm guessing he would probably still have to be on some kind of TRT regimen. But other than that, natural. No more peptides, no more growth hormone, no more whatever the hell else he was taking. And he also claimed in these recent posts that he is weighing 194 pounds on day 1 of a 5-day water fast. So that is his start weight, which will likely dip well below 190 after he starts this water fast. And I think that clearly in these pictures, in these stories, his physique does look different. It looks downsized. It looks less full. It doesn't look as vascular or lean. He certainly looks like his physique is changing with perhaps less or none of the drugs that he was taking prior. So my question to you guys is, do you believe Liver King is natural right now? Do you think he's only on TRT? What do you think the real reason for this is? Was he left with no other choice? And do you think he really only weighs 194 pounds? I was actually surprised that that number was as low as it was, but granted, Liver King is a pretty short guy. They say he's like 5'6" or 5'7", so I guess that would make sense. I guess that would be pretty big for him to be 194 at that height, at that low of a body fat. But I was shocked that he was under 200 pounds, honestly. So do you believe Liver King? Do you not? Is he natty? Is he not? So next up in the news, the Mr. Olympia posted some qualification criteria for this year's 2023 return of the Masters Mr. Olympia, which will be held in Romania later this year. So they say the age requirements, 40 plus for wellness, bikini, fitness, men's physique, men's classic physique, women's physique, figure. 45 plus for men's bodybuilding, men's 212, and women's bodybuilding. Now they say participation is based on individual application. They say, please send your letters of intent to the Masters Olympia at MrOlympia.com, and your application letters need to include your athlete background, such as age, country, titles, competitive history, including the last show you took part in, your social media accounts, which I think is kind of a weird request, video application no longer than 1 minute, pictures of the athlete's actual shape, and the application deadline is April 10th, 2023. So if you have any of your favorite bodybuilders that might fit into that age bracket that might be considering doing that Masters Mr. Olympia, let them know. The deadline is April 2023, and they say the list of their selected athletes will be published just 2 weeks after that deadline, April 24th, 2023, and they say more details coming soon. And honestly, the 2023 Masters Olympia has been a little bit controversial. All these recent deaths and health issues we've seen with bodybuilders that aren't even in the Masters category, bodybuilders that are in their 20s and 30s or early 40s. Is it a good idea to encourage bodybuilders to A, come back and compete at the age of 45 plus, or continue to compete well into their late 40s, 50s, etc. at this Masters Olympia? Is it a good idea to encourage that? Because really, bodybuilding becomes a lot more risky, a lot more dangerous in that age category. And it's already risky and dangerous enough below that age category. So I've actually seen a lot of people in the comments objecting to the idea of it coming back. Now, next up in the news, I wanted to share this physique update of Kamal Gargni. He will also be competing in the Arnold Classic this year, men's open bodybuilding category. He was just third at the 212 Mr. Olympia behind Angel Calderon and Shaun Clarida. He is also a former 212 Mr. Olympia champion, one of 2 Mr. Olympia champions in 212, now in this open Arnold Classic. He's known for his conditioning. He's one of the older guys in that lineup. He's over 50, believe it or not. And again, in a lineup of only 6 guys, we could see these 212 guys do very well. I think that both Shaun and Kamal could beat Justin Rodriguez and could beat Akeem Williams, for sure. On conditioning merit, definitely. That would put them in the top 4. So even if they couldn't beat the 2 open guys, which I think they have a chance at beating, let's say you had Samson in first, Bonac in second, you would still have Clarida or Kamal in that 3rd place spot. So even if they were to take 3rd place, either one of them, probably Shaun, it would be $75,000 prize money, $25,000 more than the prize money for winning the 212 Olympia. So again, what would be the point in doing 212? Then even if they were to make top 4, I believe the prize money for 4th last year, it was like $37,000. It was like a weird odd number. So it's like $40,000, a little bit less than the 212 Olympia title to place 4th in the Open Arnold Classic. And I believe the Arnold pays everybody in the top 10. So last year, they paid all the way up to 9th place. I think they only had 9 competitors. But from 7th to 9th, they all got $2,000 each. And even to come in 6th place, they gave Brett Wilkin a $12,500 cash prize. So right now, with only 6 competitors, I don't know why anybody wouldn't jump in this lineup, because $10,000 is like the average pro show prize money to win. You would get more than that here just to show up and place 6th. And right now, your odds of that are pretty good. So make sure you go to the Arnold Classic website if you want to watch this show, see what happens, see what the lineup ends up being, see who winds up getting all this prize money. Make sure you go to the Arnold Classic pay-per-view section of the website. Go to that section. Pre-order the pay-per-view. Buy the pre-sale. Buy it early. It's regularly $59.99. If you buy it now, you'll get it for $49.99. Then you can go enter the code NSP10 and save an additional 10% off of that $49.99. So if you get it now, you're getting it for about $45 instead of $60 the day of the show. But yeah, it would help them out a lot. It would help me out a lot. If you guys are fans of bodybuilding and you're going to watch the Arnold Classic anyway, you might as well get that discount. Go on over there and support them by doing that. Support me by doing that and using the code NSP10. That would be tremendous. Now, that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like it. Make sure you share it. Make sure you subscribe, comment, all that good stuff if you did enjoy it. And make sure you click that bell notification icon to be notified every time I upload. I know now is like the bodybuilding slump. It's the slow season in bodybuilding, the month after the Olympia. Nothing's really going on between now and the Arnold, and we're just talking about basically competitor lists. But once the Arnold Classic happens, we're going to have a lot of news to talk about. Then the bodybuilding season really kicks off into high gear. You've got all the shows of the spring and summer right after that. So subscribe now during the slump to be updated when it's prime time again. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at NickStrengthPower. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.